This time, it's mannequins. I watched Paranormal Farm 3, Halloween, a found footage movie found for free on Tubi. And for this movie, I'm going to need to say spoilers for the second Paranormal Farm, so if you were planning on watching Paranormal Farm 2, you might want to skip this review. Just gonna throw that out there. Paranormal Farm 3 starts, and main character Carl is going back to Darren and Lucy's house. They're the couple from the first and second film. So he decides to go back to their house. Taz is alive. He did not get killed. He just apparently had bad scabbing after being impaled by a pitchfork. But he's alive. And so they're going back for special features on their DVD. So they want to include some documentary stuff. It was the same premise as the second film. In fact, I believe this takes place only a few weeks later, is what they said, maybe a month. So they head back and they find both Darren and Lucy being choked in different rooms by mannequins. The mannequins seem to wiggle a little bit, but they don't move like people. But somehow they were choking them. In the ending of 2, they explain what happened is the cult are his friends. And they did what they did at the fire pit, and they did what they did in the second film to scare the crap out of him. Because they wanted him gone, because he was poking around too much. They just wanted to scare them away. Now this movie gets wild because it gets into psychics. The second one dabbled in it a little bit. This one goes full telekinesis. We find out that Carl seems to have some sort of an ability where he can move things. They get attacked by something that seems to be the Beast, some large black creature that covers Carl in blood. It doesn't actually hurt him though, it just covers him in blood, which is a little strange, right? So he does some stuff, walks around, sees the Beast again, and then he runs into this older blind lady who is apparently a psychic. And she can sense that Carl is a psychic too. So after some time, she helps him learn to hone his psychic abilities while he's there. It turns out that she is the mom of Sarah, the girl who was killed by the Beast, which I think we find out in the second movie. That was the real thing that happened. And so that's her mother. Darren and Lucy's daughter comes to visit, and I'm skipping over a lot here because I'm not going into full detail. All the psychic stuff and the stuff we're investigating into Sarah and her killing, it's all there's a lot to it. There's a lot of meat there. As well as Carl's psychic training, right? But eventually, what's her name again? Darren and Lucy's daughter, I think her name might have been Jessica. She comes to visit. And she seems pretty hostile toward the two of them, Taz and Carl. And she ends up, and it's this whole lurid thing. After a while, it turns out, and spoilers for the very ending, that their daughter was stuffing Sarah's dad, which caused Sarah's mom and dad to divorce. But the daughter of Darren and Lucy killed her because Sarah said her and her father shouldn't be together. So, it turns out their daughter is the one that killed Sarah. Everybody's distraught. At one point, Carl gets really angry and he starts throwing stuff at her with his psychic powers. It's pretty great. This movie series didn't go where I expected it to go. I thought that we were gonna go more into the Black Beast territory and talking about ghosts and all of that. And there were ghosts. They communicated with the ghost of Sarah at one point. The ghosts are more trying to protect Lucy and Darren, which is why they're there. Because the ghost was Sarah. She was trying to protect Lucy and Darren from their daughter. It's all a bit convoluted. I'm gonna give this movie a 2 out of 5, just like the second one. I think his filmmaking is much better in this movie. It's still not great. Plot isn't amazing. It sits for long periods of time, focused on one thing, but it's not very interesting. However, I'll give it props. It kept me invested in the story enough, and it surprised me. I didn't expect it to turn out like it did. I would recommend Paranormal Farm, the series. I think it's fun. It's not the bad that you can't enjoy yourself. You'll have a fun little time if you have it on.